Welcome back. We are learning Apex programming language for Salesforce development, and in the previous video we have started learning about control flow statement, and we have already learned about conditional if else statement, and in this video we will be continuing with switch statements. So what are switch statements in Apex? So Apex provides a switch statement that tests whether an expression matches one of several values and branches accordingly. So let's first of all look at the syntax of switch statements. So for the syntax part, let me write the syntax. Switch, we have to use the switch keyword on an expression, whatever expression which we want to give here. After that, when value 1, then there will be some statement which will execute when the expression matches the value 1. When value 2, then some statements will execute when the value of expression matches the value of value 2 variable. And there is one more thing, which is when else. This part of the block will execute when the expression value doesn't match with any values, like expression doesn't match with value 1 and value 2, then when else part will be executed. Now we can have the value 1, value 2 variable as single variable or multiple variables. So we can have single values here, multiple values, or as object types. So let's look at a perfect example. So first of all, let's have an integer I equals to 0 and switch on I when 1, then we want to execute some lines. When 3, we want to execute something, and this is our else part. So let's print something, system.debug, and here we will write value I equals to 1, and here let's give a condition I equals to 2, and also else I does not match with anything. Let's execute this code. So we will click on execute, and let's see the output on the developer console. So here you can see I doesn't match with anything because we have set the value of I is equal to 0. So the switch statement will start running switch on 0, and it will check if there is any statement where the value after when is equals to 0. So here 1 is not equal to 0, so this will not run. 2 is not equal to 0, so this will not run, and after that the code will see there is a else part, so it will run this. Now let's suppose if it is null, then what will happen? So I is not defined, is null. So let's execute this and see the output. Here you can see again it is showing I doesn't match anything, but we can add a statement for null also. So when null, we can print something, system.debug I is null. Let's execute this and see if this will print or not. So you can see I is equals to null because we have set it equal to null, and it is checking if I equals to 1. So I is here null, so it will not print line number 9. Then it will check I equals to 2, it is not equal, so it will not print line number 13. And here it checks that I is equal to null, and it is equals to null, so it will print this line, and that's it. Now we can have multiple values on our conditions. So we can have 1, 5, 7, 2, 4, and let's update the value of I with 5. So here what will be the output that will be printed? So here I have set it I equals to 5, and it will check I is equals to 1, 5 or 7. So if it matches with anything, I matches with anything, then it will print system debug I is 1 or 5 or 7. And let's execute this. Let's see the output, and here you can see I equals to 1 or 5 or 7, and we can make it more better by making it using the variable itself. Let's execute. Now it will print I equals to 5. So I equals to 5 is printed. So this is all about else switch statements in Apex. We have learned about switch statement, what are the various conditions which we can also use null variables in this. We can also use null in the statement part. We can also use multiple values while comparing. We can also use single values, and there is a else part which will execute whenever the value of expression doesn't match with any conditions. So first of all, we will have an expression, and it will check the value of expression with all the variables, and whenever a match is found, the statement inside that block will be printed, and if not match is found, then it will print the else part, and if else part is not defined, then it will not print anything. So let me show this also, and let's make it something which is not here. So 1, 5, 7, 2, 4, 10 will not be found out here, so it will not print anything. Let's execute, and you see no output is printed. That's it in this video. From the next video we will learn about loops in Apex programming. Thank you very much.